right, everyone. Your first assignment today is to write the personal narrative that you'll be using to introduce your article response, your response to article of the week. If you're juniors, you're reading Slow Down Reader by Taylor McNeil. And if you're seniors, you're reading A College Degree is No Guarantee of a Good Life by Arthur C. Brooks. So one of the things that we want to talk about in terms of narrative, which is the unit that we're heading into next, is you can use narrative or storytelling or personal narrative, personal stories, to introduce a topic. And as you can see in the articles that we chose, both articles, Slow Down Reader and A College Degree is No Guarantee, use personal narrative. They use storytelling to introduce the topic. This is the first way that we use narrative. Narrative writing is included in the Common Core standards. It is the first writing standard. We think about storytelling as being less important. Sadly, that's a misconception. Using personal stories to introduce a topic is what good writers do, as we can see in the published work of Arthur Brooks and Taylor McNeil, both of whom write for well-established, well-respected journals. So our job today is to follow in the path of our mentors and write a personal narrative to begin our discussion of the article. Anytime that you must write a response to something, it could be a piece of writing, it could be fiction or nonfiction, it could be a journal article, it could be a piece of art, it could be a photograph. Anytime that you're challenged in any class to write a response to something, the first thing that you can do is make a connection to your own life, because this is what real writers do. So that's what we're going to do. And those of you who followed the instructions for the annotation, I see lots of comments in the side notes. That's what I do when I'm reading something, is I try to make connections to my own life. And if you've done that, you might already have some fuel for your personal response. So I'm going to talk about in this video, instructional video, the personal response to Slow Down Reader. So seniors, it's a very similar process to yours. You just have a different question. But since I have 4 periods of juniors and 1 period of seniors, I'm going to use the juniors as the example. So a personal response means that you're making some kind of connection between your life and the text. Now, I've given you an idea of what you could respond to. You don't have to use this idea. You could use something else, some other connection. I saw some people in their comments say things like, this is me. This is what I do. And so you might want to use that as your response. But as an idea, you're tasked with evaluating your own experiences with digital reading and how it may be affecting both your brain and your reading habits, because that's what our article was about. So my example, all right. So now you have your personal narrative completed. That's going to be the first paragraph of your writing response. That is done. Your second paragraph will be the summary paragraph that you wrote yesterday. Here's my example. That was your homework for yesterday, where you were going to take the main topic, 3 supporting ideas, and a quote, and use that to write your summary paragraph here. That's the second paragraph of your written response. And now we're going to do the third paragraph. In the third paragraph, we're going to practice what we did earlier in the week, where we responded to a prompt with a quote. We practiced that using our Why Read infographic, but now we're going to do this Now we're going to do this with the article. So here you can see our article. And again, this is the article that the juniors are going to be reading. And as we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that I've given you 3 possible analysis questions. So 3 ways to think deeply and focus on one aspect of this article. You may come up with your own analysis question if you want to. These are just suggestions. So we've got number 1, what do you think Woolf means when she says that reading is a sanctuary, a place where we become immersed, and through that immersion transcend our daily lives? So usually one of the analysis questions, I'll take a quote that I think is interesting and have you analyze what you think it means. Number 2, do you agree that our skimming, browsing, word spotting way of reading is changing the way we read? So this would be more of, again, a personal text-to-self connection. So this first question, looking more deeply into the text. Second one, making another connection. And the third question, do you agree with the author's view that deep reading is an important component of democracy? I loved this part of the article. I think I talked about in class that, like I am asking you to do, this author kind of takes her topic, his topic of Marianne Wolf's book, really to the next level in connecting this idea of literacy to democracy. And so I'm asking, do you agree or not? So yes, I agree, and this is why. No, I don't agree. I think that's not the case. You can also come up with your own analysis question. Okay, so we're back at the analysis paragraph response with embedded quote. I put a copy of the article here, but you're probably going to want to just grab your own copy that you've already annotated, but it's here for you in case you need it in blue. So I want you to pick one of those questions and answer it using an embedded quote. You may use my topic sentence if you are struggling. And that's the author title from up here. Author title, topic sentence there. All right. Once you have finished all of this, you're going to copy and paste the 3 paragraphs that you've written into the assignment. So you're going to take the paragraph from your quick write, which is your personal response. That's your introduction. And you're going to paste that into the assignment. You're going to take the summary from up here that you completed. Boom, right here. And you're going to paste it into the assignment. That's your second paragraph. And you're going to take your paragraph response from one of the prompts, and that's your third paragraph. Those 3 paragraphs together will be your response. We will always respond to an article with these 3 types of paragraphs: personal narrative, then a summary, and then an analysis, some kind of answering some kind of prompt, looking deeply at some aspect of the article. Now let's say you're in a class and the teacher says, I need 5 paragraphs. Then you do 2 more analysis paragraphs or 2 more in a conclusion. But with these 3 paragraphs, you can write anything. And that's the whole idea.